Garde-lo, garde-lo. That's the expression supposedly that was used by maids and others in the Middle Ages when they were hurling the contents of chamber pots out the window. Well, this isn't really a chamber pot, but it will have to do because I don't have access to a real one. But I do have access to the point. And the point is that back in those days, there were no real sewer systems. I mean, if you had to go outside to do your thing, that's exactly what you did in the alleyways or in the street. And the smell was very, very often terrible. And of course, there were even ideas that disease was somehow linked to sewage, although no one really knew exactly what that was all about, until the 19th century. In fact, John Snow, a physician, well known at the time because he was physician to Queen Victoria. In fact, he was the first one to administer chloroform to the Queen when she gave birth to Prince Leopold. Anyway, when there was an epidemic of cholera in London, he found that there were more cases in Broad Street. And he looked at a pump in Broad Street and he found that maybe it was the water coming from that pump that was causing the problems. And he suggested to the mayor to remove the handle of the pump to curb the epidemic of cholera. People thought that, he was nuts, but it turned out, of course, eventually that water does carry diseases, including like cholera. Well, today, of course, we don't worry much about this because we have good water purification systems and we have sewer systems. But how many people give a thought to that? You fly into a city like Montreal and you look down and you see all the houses and you see all the skyscrapers. What do they have in common? They all have toilets and the stuff gets taken away. Who thinks about what happens to it? Well, it's time to think about this because these are very, very important issues. We have modern sewer systems today, and we even have sewage treatment plants. Montreal, in fact, is building one that is going to be sort of state-of-the-art. It's behind schedule, be ready in about 2 years. And not only is it going to filter the sewage, not only is it going to make sure that there are no microbes that are present in water that is released back into the river, but they will also use ozone gas to treat the sewage, and that will take care of many pharmaceutical residues and other pollutants. So we have certainly come a long way, but I think it's very important to think about this. And when you realize how great the engineering is, when these days, just think of all the stuff that we put down the toilet and down the sewer pipe. And fact is that, all this stuff goes down. Most people don't know what happens to it, but the fact is that it magically just disappears. Well, it isn't really magic. There's a lot of science, a lot of engineering. Think about that next time you sit on the loo. And remember that nobody is doing garde-loo anymore.